Hello, everybody from Alexandria, Virginia. Another episode of On the Sports Clock. My pleasure to have on the new voice of the Missouri State Bears, Corey Riggs. Corey, fun couple of weeks from USC to the SMU game for Missouri State football. You're the new voice of the Bears, reigning in a new era or bringing in a new era of Missouri State athletics. How's it been thus far?
Tyler, first, thanks for having me on. Two, the way I opened up the football game with Tennessee Martin was when we went to USC, I was able to sneak out and get to Chavez Ravine and go to my first ever game at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, nice.
And the first time Shohei Ohtani steps up to the plate, I had no idea that Michael Bublé is his walk-up music. And it's feeling good. So my open to the Bears football game on Saturday was it's a new dawn, it's a new day, and me and the Bears are feeling pretty good right now with a 2-2 start, and looking forward to hosting our first ever Conference USA game again under the lights here Saturday night at Robert W. Plaster Stadium against Western Kentucky. I think it's as good a start as we could have hoped for to get off to a 2-2 beginning here. It was a tough pill to swallow at USC at the LA Memorial Coliseum, but to get that first ever win as an FBS team at Marshall, turn around and hey, listen, Tennessee Martin, we have traded wins and losses with for the better part of the last 5 years. So to beat them down 42-0 before putting in the freshman and just giving up 10 points late in garbage time felt really good.
Yeah, it did. And in terms of Bear Nation, they were all over that whole, the USC game, all that, and SMU. But I know they, bringing in a new era is exciting for everyone. I know they were excited as well.
It was going out to USC. By the way, Tyler, everybody out there from Pete Arbogast, the play-by-play man, to their sports information staff, they could have treated us like hicks and hillbillies coming in from the Ozarks for this game. We got treated first class by everybody out in LA, from the hotel to the LA Memorial Coliseum. It was first class. Same at Marshall. So everybody's been really accommodating on this move from FCS football to FBS football. And I say there's honestly, I've been trying to take notes. You mentioned being the new voice of the Bears, taking over for Art is it's shoes that can't be filled. No matter how hard I work or anything else, I'll never be the voice of the Bears for 45 years. That's kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. Art's encyclopedic knowledge of all sports, but specifically the Bears sports. I think he's the envy of just about everybody who talks on a mic that I know. And so it's big shoes to fill, but man, it's been great getting to share time with him these last couple of years, learn under that tree, kind of the right way to do the business and the right way to treat people. And the right way to pay homage to these Bears fans by helping him for the last couple of years. I feel really lucky and honored to be in the spot that I'm in.
Well, and I'll tell you this too. A lot of people appreciate what you've done, the job you've done. I've recognized it. I don't live in Springfield. I haven't lived in the Springfield area for 10 years, but I love the Bears. You can text or call Casey Hunt. She's one of the first people I text almost every morning, like how'd men's golf do last night or how'd volleyball, or I'll look it up. And, but it's because of the passion. And that's the feedback I've gotten, all the way out here is just your passion. We're all passionate about the Bears, and your job's been recognized in terms of what you've done. So I just want to publicly throw that out there. You're doing a great job. I know it's big shoes to fill, but you're doing a great job, and as Bear Nation, we appreciate what you do.
No, I appreciate you saying that. I got to go on a radio show and podcast a week ago with the likes of Dennis Heim, who used to be a part of the broadcast team with Art, and Kirk Elmquist, who's obviously a big backer in the Missouri State Football Players Association, and Tom Strong. And lest we forget, no one has done more in the last couple of years for Missouri State athletics than Tom Strong writing the $5 million check to allow Missouri State to make the move from FCS football to FBS football without having that boat anchor around their neck. And, Tom was really nice. He pointed out that I have a unique tone, which I understand that I do, but that he said, right guy, right time for the job. And that coming from him and the same thing coming from you, it means a lot. I consider my style to be, I'm not the pros pro. I'm the voice of the fan. I moved here in the fall of '93 after growing up in Webb City, and I've been a Bear since the moment I stepped foot in Springfield. I met my wife on campus. My son's a junior. He lives on campus right now. We are maroon and white through and through, and that's why this is just an absolute dream to have the opportunity that I've got going forward.
And I was on your LinkedIn earlier, and you and I have some things in common. I know you went to Webb City. I'm a Willard guy, but you were involved in marching band, speech, and debate, which I was as well. And Webb City always gave me the biggest headache, not only on the sports side, but speech and debate. It was always them in Parkview who, ironically, Parkview's coach when I was in speech and debate was Bill Rowe's daughter at the time. So it's like it all, and, I tell people all the time, I was pretty much told you're going to be a Missouri State Bear, and I would not be where I am without that university. It means the world. So to share the same passion as you and have the same background, similar backgrounds is kind of ironic, but cool at the same time.
Yeah, trust me, Tyler. I wished I had been a football player. I'd love to tell you that I was a football player at Webb City and won part of those 16 state titles. But I was, for 1 year, I was really good at practicing. But not very good at playing.
Hey, there's always time, especially with the NIL now, everybody's getting years of eligibility. I just asked my dad the other day, I said, I wonder how much eligibility I have in college left, even though I was only like a manager, GA, all that. And I said, second off, I just started playing hockey. I'm 32 now, not that the world needs to know my age, but I started playing hockey at 28. So there's always time to get back to it,
I don't know about that. I do joke a lot that I was at SMS, now Missouri State, for 7 years, and I'm not a doctor. But that also means that my college career was the same length as Jacob Clark's. So
yeah.
It's working out better for him, but I'm okay with where I landed.
Is he going to the NFL, or is he going to be like a undrafted free agent? What's your take on that?
I don't know. It's so hard to kind of see into that crystal ball. I think somebody would do well to give him an opportunity. All the things that Ryan Beard and Nick Petrino talk about are the things that you want in a guy at the professional level. He already behaves like a pro. Yes, he is pro ready as far as being on a mic, shooting commercials, all of those things that go on off the field. But more importantly, on the field, he's an extension of the coaching staff. Yeah. He has got a brilliant mind for the offense. He and I talk about it. Now that they've got the green dots, right, you step up to FBS, you get to have the coach in your ear now and spend all the money on that equipment. He says 9 times out of 10, he knows what play Nick Petrino's calling before it comes in the headset. So I think that tells you all you need to know about QB1 here in Springfield. Is he's very cerebral and the arm talent is there. And I think, Tyler, if you've noticed what we've done these last couple of games, he's also shown something this year more than he has in his previous seasons, which he's shown the ability to run. If the defense is going to leave a lane open, he's not Bernie Kosar just wobbling back and forth in that pocket. He'll take off and take what the defense gives him, which shows another layer of what he could bring to a pro club.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing too is, and not trying to be controversial with this, obviously Missouri State's got a great thing going. I hope it continues under Ryan Beard. But coaching's coaching. It's a business. If let's say they finish, with 6-7 wins, is Ryan Beard going to take another job? Obviously Mike Gundy got let go the other day. There's, talks about Bobby Petrino potentially going to Arkansas. Maybe he'll sniff Oklahoma State, but there may be an opportunity for Ryan to leave. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, and what within week 3, Tyler, UCLA and Virginia Tech both whacked their coaches.
Yeah.
There's more to come. The Bears just hosted SMU in that enormous game with 15,000 in the stands at Plaster Stadium. Well, now they're already talking about their head coach at SMU possibly being on the hook for the job in Stillwater, possibly the UCLA job. Talking about Rhett Lashley, the SMU head coach. He could be out. So then all of a sudden the SMU job could be open. I mean, it's so hard to tell. I know a couple of things. I know one, Ryan Beard is not leaving to be a defensive coordinator anywhere again. He is really, really comfortable and finding his footing in his 3rd year of being a head coach. I don't think he leaves here for any reason other than to be a head coach of a bigger program. And I think Missouri State's going to have opportunities to keep him around. Obviously, you've got to win at this level, but as you mentioned, there's already groups out there that earlier, before the season started, had the Bears picked as a 2-win team. Now there's people out there that say that the Bears are going to go 7-5 now that they've seen what they can do between the lines. So we'll see. But I think right now the big thing you've got to remember is the amount of family here. Yeah. Ryan's here. His brother-in-law, Nick, is here. His brother-in-law, LD, is here. Yeah. All the wives and kids are here. They've got a really good thing going here right now. And hopefully it will be a couple of years before we have to have that serious conversation. But I also think the university has to give him, I don't want to say give him what he wants, but give him what he needs. We've got to be having conversations about more improvements to the training facilities, possibly an indoor training facility, whether or not it's new locker rooms, everything else. There's a wish list there. And if you want to keep a good young head coach happy and staying in the 417, probably going to have to get some of those things built in short order.
Yeah, for sure. And talking about, too, the 15,000 at Plaster Stadium. So I have not been to a football game there in probably, 10, 11 years. I remember when it was like all grass, or maybe they had just gone turf, but it was not a good facility at all. But I know the university has really invested. I know Biff and Patrick, they're going to continue to do. And I'll give a lot of credit to Kyle too, and Cliff in terms of bringing it to where it is now. The university is trying and just talk about kind of that, what you've seen in the past versus where it is now, and that 14,000, the light. Now they got a light show apparently and all that. It's like I wouldn't have envisioned this 12 years ago. I can tell you that right now.
I'm in the same boat with you, Tyler. I am. It's amazing what a difference a year makes. To be completely honest, in the span of time of Biff Williams replacing Cliff as president, as Kyle being replaced after he went to Eastern Kentucky now by Patrick Ransdell, the amount of infrastructure, movement, and money that's been put into football. And not all of it is stuff you can see. And I think that's the hardest part for the fan base. I mean, the stadium has been power washed. It has been painted. It has been decorated. It has got brand new turf. It's got, as Patrick called it on my podcast the other day, the Blinky show, the light show now that goes off when you score a touchdown, when you get a turnover, and adds to the ambiance and the big time feel of a game at Plaster Stadium. But, there was millions of dollars that were sunk in that are all underground in fiber optic cable, XLR cables, everything that you need to be able to have a CBS truck, an ESPN2 truck, show up and put a game from Springfield on national television. We're going to be on national TV 5 times this year. Last time we've been on national TV was 1981 against SEMO in an ABC regional game. Bears are going to be on there 5 times this year. Ryan Beard and I have talked about it on Inside the Den, his coach's show every Monday night. Missouri State got more exposure in the first 3 games of this college football season than they've gotten in the last 13 years. I mean, you can't even compare the two, but a ton of money has been sunk into making it a good place for TV to come, because those TV truck guys, if they don't have what they need, they don't come back. So They've already gotten rave reviews from CBS on the SMU game saying that they had just been at another Conference USA school and they wished it was like Plaster. it was set up for TV like that. So they're already getting rave reviews on what they did on the back end. Hey, they remodeled the press box, new carpet, new blackout curtains, which if you've ever been up in that press box, it gets pretty warm as the sun goes beating in. So they've made a lot of improvements, a ton of improvements on the luxury suite side as well. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, it's still just 17.5 on a packed house. There's a lot of conversations going on right now about how to add seating, how to add more experienced seating, whether it's in the end zones. Do you need to build a building in the south end zone? And all of that stuff is going to be popping up, especially as this week the university announced their 5-year strategic plan. And there's a lot of focus on the athletic side in that.
Yeah, and I was laughing earlier too. So you mentioned the 2 wins and all that, and I was laughing because some message boards, we won't name them, but they were saying that all of a sudden now they want to file a lawsuit to see if the Bears would qualify for a bowl. So it's like that's a little bit different than what we've experienced in the past with football, you know?
Very, very much so. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. The hiring of Bobby Petrino changed the trajectory of Missouri State football forever. Bobby came in, immediately gets a postseason bid, immediately gets a share of the Missouri Valley Conference, which we'd never won before, never had even a share of it. So that changed things, and it's definitely kind of led to all of this and the ability to now to be in a spot where, hey, there was a lot of people that were like, we get to 3 or 4 wins this year, first year in FBS, we'll be happy. Now there are throngs of people saying, hey, we get to 6, 7 wins.
Yeah.
And if there aren't enough bowl eligible teams, like Marshall last year was bowl eligible, Tyler, they couldn't go to a bowl game. Their coach took another job. Half his team went in the portal. That didn't just happen last year. It's going to happen again. It's probably going to happen more often. So there's a world in which if you keep your coach, you keep your team, and you get to 6 wins, even if you happen to be a brand new FBS team, there might be an invite in there somewhere. I'm not going to hold my breath, but there's no reason not to have a dream right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing too, a couple other things. I want to talk about Western Kentucky coming up on Saturday, but in terms of men's basketball, we're talking about dreams and all that. And I don't mean to, I got my start in athletics outside of like high school with men's basketball, but my dream is to see men's basketball go to the NCAA tournament. The last time it happened, I was in kindergarten. And as I said earlier, I'm 32 years old now. I would love to see it happen. What's kind of your outlook with this move for men's basketball? Obviously, Kelly, Beth, all them, they've done a great job on the women's basketball side. Sure. But in terms of men's basketball, what's kind of your outlook? And do you think this move helps, hurts, indifferent?
So I think it's kind of an even move. There's a lot of people out there, the traditionalists, that are going to tell you they believe the Valley is very much so a stronger league than CUSA.
Right.
I don't know yet. I'm not willing to throw myself down on that street corner and say the Valley is vastly superior. I think they're very different. I think when you look at the style of basketball that's played in the Valley, it's a coach-driven league, and it's a lot like the Big Ten. It's defensive. It's rock fights. It's first one to 60 or 65 wins. Yeah, that's going to be the brand of basketball in Conference USA. There's going to be a lot more wide open up and down the floor, a lot more nights of 85 than 65. This year is going to be different because Conzo Martin is not getting hired late. He is not putting together a staff late, and he is not just trying to get people in the door. He had time to go find guys that play his brand of hard-nosed, hustle-first basketball. I'm going to practice, sticking my head in once or twice a week, even though we're not really close yet. I know we're inside of 50 days now, but sticking my head in to take a look and see what's going on. We're going to bring back 3 really talented guys with Zaxton King, the guard, Logan Epps, another guard who was kind of our 6th man, and then Big Michael Osei Bonsu. But there is a ton of shooting talent, everything that's going to go around him this year. I've been excited in what I've seen at practice. And I'll just tell you this much. You talk about how you want to see this team get back to the NCAA tournament. Let me give you a little bit of my story. So it was a full circle moment, right, for Art, who was an SMU alum, to call his last game with the Mustangs and the Bears, his adopted school. My first chance to call at that point in time SMS Athletics was my last year of school. I was a 1999 graduate. I was invited as a student broadcaster to St. Louis to call the Bears games in Arch Madness, and all they did after that was go on to play Duke in the Sweet 16. So if you think you are really, really hungry for a trip to the NCAA tournament, I guarantee you I feel the exact same way you do.
And I remember the last win in the NCAA tournament was over Tennessee, 81-51. And then, they'd go up to Jersey and play up at the Meadowland, or can't remember what it was. It's the Izod Center now, or Izod Arena, but it's in the Meadowlands where they lost to Duke, which you were talking about. But it's just, it all comes full circle. But I ask Casey Hunt, she will tell you I annoy her. I'm like, and I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, for saying this on the air, but I tell people all the time, including Casey, when the Bears basketball team gets to the NCAA tournament, I will drink this place dry. And I'm sorry for saying that on the air, but I will drink it dry just because it is, it's where I got my start, but it's, it's a great arena. It's women's basketball has proven, they've always had a great history under, the Cheryl Burnett years. Abe had some great years, Nyla. Unfortunately, Nyla got let go, but she, won the Missouri Valley Conference there. And then obviously Kelly, Beth, all that, and Mox, of course, can't exclude Mox, but they've had the history. And why can't men's basketball do it? They've been close, but it's like, I wish they would finally get over that hump,
Well, we're in a different world now. What happened to Barry Henson doesn't happen now.
No,
because all mid-major leagues are one bid leagues now.
Yeah.
The days of the heyday of the Missouri Valley with Creighton and Wichita State and Northern Iowa and Bradley or Illinois State and getting 4 teams in, those days are gone, and they're not coming back because the NCAA doesn't want them to come back. You get your one team, and then maybe we'll let you in the NIT. That's the world we live in now. So go to Conference USA, fight like hell, win a league title, get back to the NCAA tournament. Go from Huntsville to getting back to the dance.
Yeah, exactly. 2 more things I want to talk about first. So the first time, well, I shouldn't say the first time I met you. The first time that I know of was I was back in I think it was January or February for the 2015. I was a very, very minute part of that 2015 run with the baseball team. And I grew up, again, it was just kind of in my blood that I was going to be a Missouri State Bear and going to Bears games. And it was always my dream to play for Keith Gunn, but, never really got the opportunity, but got to work under him and be a part of that 2015 team. And then being introduced, I remember you introducing me in front of the crowd there on that day. And that's still, I think about that every day. So I want to talk about that 2015 run and the reunion earlier. What are your memories from that team?
Well, I mean, that was at that point in time, while I was getting to help broadcast, I wasn't really a part of that postseason run and everything, but it's just such an incredible group. And to see the ties from that group that was able to find so much success, and in that event where you came back for, just the fact that all those guys can pick up like they were just out playing a day ago. And now that Joey's the head coach, it's just such a beautiful symmetry to go from Coach Rowe to Coach Gutton, now to Joey Hawkins. It just seems like you couldn't have written a Hollywood script much better. And those guys that Joey played with, love him. They're big. A lot of those guys are very successful now. They're big contributors to this program and making sure that Missouri State has everything it needs to continue to be hyper competitive in baseball, because you and I know this, Tyler. Football and basketball get all the attention. Yeah. Baseball, year in and year out, is the most successful men's sport the university has. Men's soccer's made it a run at them now with 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances. Coach Seabolt, Coach Leamy have done incredible work, but baseball definitely has a spot in my heart because when I first started doing the studio updates for Art, that's how I got my start with the radio network. Was Art asked me do the pregame, halftime, and postgame show on like football and basketball. And then we all know how crazy crossover season is, right?
Yeah. I lived it for 2 years going from basketball and baseball. I'd come off the road, not to cut you off, but I'd come off the road from a basketball trip and be right on the road with baseball. So I know what you're talking about. Yep. Anyway,
and you can't be 2 places at once. So Art early on would ask me, I would end up doing about the first month of baseball for the better part of the last 9-10 years. And so doing that while he wrapped up basketball, getting to cover the team the last few years of G's tenure and being here for the start of Joey's, baseball's very special to me here. It's a very special program at Missouri State, and it can't be understated. And I hate the fact that we have joined Conference USA, going to get a chance to get back even with Dallas Baptist, and now they're only going to play us for 1 year and then join the Pac-12 in baseball. Can't believe it. They're running from us again.
Yeah. And, I have to tell you, I've formed relationships just, I've been around the Valley, and I'm a Loyola Chicago grad, Wichita State grad, Barrett Hart, but masters from those two. But just the relationships around the Valley, I've got a very close relationship with Brent Kimnitz, who was a longtime pitching coach under Gene Stevenson there, won the national championship with him.
So we went out there and played Wichita State for the first time in like a decade, played a series out there. Brent came in the booth every day to talk to G. To get to listen to him and Coach Gutton go back and forth was like a master class in baseball. It was so much fun.
And he thinks the world. Every time Brendan and I text, he's like, please tell Lump, and referring to pitching coach Paul Evans. He's always like, I love those guys. He goes, please tell Brendan and Keith that I say. So, you see that publicly where it's like, oh, they hate each other, the schools, but there's really a mutual. And Lump, I'm very close with Lump, and he's like, please tell Kimnitz I say hello. Like there's no bad blood, maybe on the field, but off the field, there's nothing but mutual respect. So I guess that's what kind of, I miss that rivalry with Creighton. I miss it with Wichita State, because I lived it. I was part of those. I was a small, minute part of a lot of those. It was funny. If you remember, Corey, 2014, we went, 72 straight innings without scoring a run. And we scored a run at Wichita State of all places, and it felt like we won the national championship. We were awful. I remember getting off that road trip after the conference tournament at Indiana State, and Coach Gunn came in the locker. It's like 2 a.m, and we're like, fuck, we just want to go home. Pardon my French. And he's like, there's going to be changes tomorrow morning, and this isn't Missouri State. And then the next year we go, we're almost, 1 win from the College World Series. It's like
back to Omaha. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, the crazy thing is, Tyler, you talk about Coach Kimnitz. He brought Gene Stevenson over into the booth. I got to shake hands with Gene and listen to him and Coach Gutton talk. And that was a trip in and of itself. But no, baseball, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do in a new league. This is CUSA is a really good baseball league. I don't think a lot of people realize that. They are a multi-bid league when it comes to the college baseball postseason with Dallas Baptist and then some of the other strong programs they have. So I really think it's going to be a challenge this year, but I also think Joey and Deck and the coaching staff has maybe recruited their best class ever. Now it's a small sample size. They're just getting started, but they have got a top 25 ranked transfer portal class for this spring. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I live, eat, breathe Missouri State. So every sport I've got taps on, checking the score, 24/7. So I love that university. It's done a lot for me, and I'm humbled just to have been a small, minute part of the athletic program, and humbled to have, stayed in touch with it. So last question here, Corey. WKU this Saturday. Give me your thoughts.
Well, so you talked about how relationships are
Mhm.
the one thing that you miss from the Valley.
Yep.
So you go and you join a new league, right? You join
Yep.
Conference USA. Oh, by the way, there's a stat floating around out there that says of the 136 FBS football programs in the nation, of almost 24% at one time or another has played in Conference USA.
Yep.
Make of that what you will. But
Yep.
the Bears are going to play Western Kentucky. This game is nothing but relationships. Ryan Beard was a standout safety for Western Kentucky. He is Bowling Green born and raised. The future quarterback, the heir apparent to Jacob Clark, is a two-time Bowling Green High State champion who elected to come here and play for Ryan instead of staying home and playing for the Hilltoppers.
Yep.
Our running backs coach rushed for 27 touchdowns in a single year as the running back for Western Kentucky. Our offensive line coach, Max Helpin, was an all-conference standout at Western Kentucky. Nick Petrino was a student assistant there. LD Scott coached there for a year. Our athletic director played baseball there. His dad was the university president. If you need an instant rival in Conference USA, allow me to introduce the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky,
Yep.
because on football, we have got more touch points than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, and it's going to be, and I look forward to seeing I watch every game, I look forward to seeing, and I want to say this too publicly. Thank you to the fans. I know Ryan and Corey yourself have publicly said it, but thank you to the fans. I wish, I live here in Virginia. I wish I could be in Springfield. My brother's in the marching band. My parents are at every game. My aunt, my grandma's at every game. I wish I could be there. Fortunately, Springfield's not an easy airport to fly into, but I'm there in spirit, and I just want to say publicly as a Bears alum, Bears fan, thank you to the fans. Please keep showing up for this program and this university. They're doing things the right way. They've got the right leadership, and I'm very excited for what the future holds for not just football, but athletics in general.
No, I'm right there with you. To see 14, 15,000 the first two home games of the season, and to be playing a 3-game homestand to start the year. That doesn't happen very often at Plaster Stadium. And to be playing night games, that historically does not happen. So the university is trying to thank the fans and show the fans that they appreciate them by listening to them, by giving them what they've heard they want. They said they wanted night games, so we're going to play some night games now. And hopefully they come out this Saturday night. Western Kentucky is a perennial power in Conference USA. Tyler, this is going to be a great measuring stick for where Missouri State football, where Mo State really is right now. Maverick MacGyver is a great signal caller. He is a gunslinger with a itchy trigger finger. He throws the ball ridiculously fast. They have a huge screen game. One of their top receivers is their running back out of the backfield, and this kid spreads the ball around really well. One thing to keep your eye on maybe this Saturday night is the fact that they being the Hilltoppers, haven't been real strong against the run. Shamari Lawrence just broke off his first 50-yard TD run of his career at Missouri State last week against Tennessee Martin. We might see a healthy dose of him under the lights Saturday night. And he said on the coaches show this week, hey, Corey, my goal is still to get to 1,000 yards. My goal is still to be one of the best backs in Conference USA. He can make some real headroom with a big game Saturday night, and the ability to maybe show people that that's the skill level he has, whether it was playing at FIU where he was before or where he is now as a member of Missouri State.
Yeah, and like I said, it's all going to be exciting. The Bears, take USC away, as Ryan said on Inside the Den yesterday or Monday night. Take that away, but they've shown they can be competitive. And I've seen it myself, and they're in good hands. And I look forward to the rest of the season. And I appreciate you coming on, Corey. I really do. Thank you again for taking time to do this and all you're doing for the Bears. And next time I'm in Springfield, we'll definitely meet up, and hopefully the Bears can continue having success for sure.
Nope, that sounds great to me, Tyler. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk about the university you and I both love so much, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. And like I said, love that university. I think about it every single day. So appreciate you. Appreciate Missouri State. Bear Nation Plaster Sports Complex Saturday for Western Kentucky and Missouri State. Thanks again, Corey. Appreciate it.
Yep. Go Bears.
Go Bears.